Hi-yo everyone, my name's Mr. Fruit and welcome to today's video where we're going to be discussing my top 5 favorite games of 2017. I hope I put a graphic there or like changed my audio a little bit. I was going for like a dramatic, I don't really know what's going to happen. Normally I'd be like, Fred, edit the thing right there. But I'm my own editor, so me. I'm looking at me on my computer. Me. Edit. Okay. Hopefully I did it. Anyway, this is going to be discussing my top 5 favorite games of 2017 as the title, and like I just mentioned, suggested. Now, big preface, again, please note that it says my favorite. You know, big M-Y, my. Not everybody's, not critics, not anything like that, because the important thing to note here is, while yes, I do play games and put the videos on the internet, I don't actually get to play that many games, especially not a big variety, because for the most part, it takes up most of my day. And then on the few odd hours that I get of free time, generally I don't then spend them playing games, you know what I mean? So I can kind of have a life. The big thing to note is a lot of like single player games. Like this year had a lot of really good single player games, especially on the Nintendo. So for that, I apologize because I haven't played through a lot of it. We'll get to it because you'll understand, because some people are like, how is this on your list, or why is it this? All right, everybody just calm down. Again, my list, a lot of it, as you know, I mainly play multiplayer shooters as well, so that takes a big chunk of my time and some of my deliberation when I made the list. Honestly, I looked back, not a lot of new games I played. Again, there were some really good single player games that I didn't either never got around to playing or only played a little bit, etc., etc. So with all those disclaimers out of the way, we'll move on to the top 5. And I actually made it top 5 because I was thinking about the top 10, but honestly, the games I wanted to even maybe put on the list, I didn't really think I could fit top 10. So I figured, hey, let's do top 5. Number 5. See if I just do my own audio effects. I don't. Okay, never mind. Cut. This one's gonna surprise some people. But number 5 on my list is For Honor. Yeah, For Honor. So I did this earlier on my channel. I had February when the game came out, I believe. Did a lot of it, actually. And we actually got a lot of new subs and stuff for the game, which surprised me. I thought it was just going to be but it gained a lot of traction. And I got to say, I was having a ton of fun with the game. I've never really played a fighting game, which played a big part into it. I've never really played a fighting game at all, actually. That's the most time I've had in a fighting game would be that. I guess you could say like Super Smash Brothers Melee if you want to, but that was on my friend's GameCube and we played it casually with each other. Like I never owned it and I never grinded it or anything like that. So again, and that game's a little different. It's not like most fighting games where you have a whole bunch of combos, you know, something like Tekken or Street Fighter, whatever. But I absolutely loved the game's setting and vibe and everything. I love knights, I love samurai, and I freaking love Vikings. All in one game, you can play as all of them and fight each other. Heck yes, the premise alone got me super pumped for the game. And so despite me not really being, that's the only reason I picked it up in the first place, because I was like, nah, a fighting game, I'm not the best, but I'll give it a try. And it was a ton of fun. And so when I actually made a lot of time to play it outside of video making, and it also took a while to make videos on it, but it didn't bother me because I was having so much fun playing and learning. Thing was, as time went on, it was less on the channel, which meant I played it less, and then in my free time I played it less and less because I got rusty and everyone got way better, which is kind of what fighting games happens. But that's primarily why I'm super hyped for Dragon Ball FighterZ, which comes out at the end of this month. First off, love Dragon Ball, and that game looks sick. So hopefully the channel likes it. If not, I'll either do it on my second channel or grind it out in my own time, but I'm super excited for that. But that is why For Honor takes number 5. Number 4. When I mention that people could be like, how you kick it? This one's probably gonna be pretty controversial, but 4th on my list would be Zelda Breath of the Wild for the Nintendo Switch. And I know how that is like everybody's game of the year. How is it number 4 on your list? Now, hear me out here, okay? It's a great game. And from what I played, I really did enjoy it, but that's just it. From what I played, I haven't gotten very deep into the game. I want to say I have like 10 to 15 hours, maybe. but I feel like I barely scratched the surface of the game, which is great. And I know a couple years ago, before I was doing this and I had way more free time, probably would have just eaten it up. I would have loved that game because it has something for everybody, and it's kind of a mind-blowing game, and that's why I put it on my list exclusive, because I know how good it was despite how little I played, and hopefully I do get to come back and finish it at some point. But I know most people will be triggered like, whoa, that's that. So I should also mention that Super Mario does not make the list. Super Mario Odyssey, I believe. I'm literally about 10 minutes into that one. I have not been able to touch that really. And by the time it came out with my free time, I was usually so tired. Recently, I've just been watching a lot of anime. I'm a weeb. So that's usually what I do, because I'm just so tired. So I don't really play the game, so I want to, and that one was really fun from what I've seen and everything. I really hope I get time to finish that, but that's why. Number 4th, Zelda Breath of the Wild. Put your pitchforks away, okay? Number 3. Now this one will be even more controversial. You think this is better than Zelda Breath of the Wild? Oh my god, you have an opinion? How could you? Number 3 for me is Horizon Zero Dawn, a game that absolutely blew me away. At first, I was like, ooh, cool, robotic dinosaur kind of things, bow and arrows. I like that kind of stuff. But the reason this is number 3 is because I actually beat this one. All of it. Beat the game, almost 100% completed it. I haven't gotten to the DLC yet, which I hope to do. I'm actually thinking about doing a playthrough on my second channel. I'm not really sure. But absolutely loved the game. The single player was awesome. I think a big reason, too, why I really liked it was I thought the story was super interesting. Trying to figure out how humanity got here, where we came from, what happened, the little tidbits. For the first time in a very long time, I actually did the story of an open world game, because normally, I'm going to be honest, I have played Skyrim several times. I have never beaten the story mission. I barely get past where you meet the graveyards, because I'm just like, screw this, I'm going to go do whatever I want, which is, I think, is the beauty of an open world game. But in this case, specifically, the story was so interesting to me that I'd finish a story mission, I'd be like, I'd get tidbits of information about what happened stuff, and I'd be like, okay, next mission, how do I get there? And very rarely it would be like, oh, you need to meet this requirement, because as per when I do play an open world game, especially earlier on, I do everything I can in a certain area and then move forward, which there's actually a really interesting game that I can't remember the name of, but hopefully it comes to me. It might not. It's something about some kingdom thing coming out, and it's evidently a story game, a single player game, but it's set in nighttime, the time of nights, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, medieval times. That's a much better way to put it, Mr. Fruit. Set in medieval times, but they're talking about how side quests and those kind of things and NPCs and stuff move and happen without you. If you're too slow or you get distracted, sometimes it won't be available anymore. It'll happen and you'll miss it, which is a really interesting concept, which, as for me, maybe I need that kick in the butt, because I will get a quest and I'll see the marker way over here, and then from point A to point B takes me 7 times longer than it should, because I look at everything, or I find something, or something pops up on my map over here. I'm like, ooh, let me go see this. Ooh, this is hidden treasure. Ooh, what is this? Which I did with Horizon, but at the same time, I was actually able to complete the game. Loved it. Loved every minute. A freaking gorgeous game, too. So, for me, Horizon puts 3 on the single, which after hearing that, you're like, wait, that's only number 3? What could be the top 2? You'll see, and I'll explain why. Number 2. This one may or may not come as a surprise, especially if you watch the channel. Number 2, I would say, is Fortnite Battle Royale. So I have to specify it's the Battle Royale branch of Fortnite. I did play Save the World a little bit, but Battle Royale is obviously what's kept and held my attention for so long. The reason this one's up there is because it's a multiplayer game that I love. It's probably, like, as far as channel-wise too, been the best game for my channel so far, or at least like to where I can put it on, most people like it, and I have a lot of fun with it this year at least. There are other videos this year that I've done, but they're on games since past, so I was only doing 2017 games. So Fortnite Battle Royale, super fun, super addicting. It took PUBG's formula, but then made it faster, more fun. And again, this is all subjective. You know, someone would argue, I don't like a cartoon graphic. Fair play, I actually like them more than the super realistic PUBG graphics because it's so overdone. It's just typical. I don't know. And it's so much faster. That's the thing for me. Especially with how little time I have. A PUBG map or a PUBG game, I could seriously land and look around for 30 minutes before ever finding somebody. Like ever shooting my gun. And then whoosh, one sniper and I'm dead. And I never got to do anything. And that was most PUBG games, even with my friends. We did win a few games and stuff. And the very beginning of PUBG was super fun. But Fortnite showed me what a battle royale game to me was like. For me, that was really fun. And that's why it takes number 2 spot, because of how much time I put into it and how much fun I'm still having. Like it has legs, you know, I'm still playing it, and hopefully the channel enjoys it for some time to come, and the updates are coming, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I really like Fortnite Battle Royale. I didn't even realize it was happening. So that was a really cool thing. It came out of nowhere and I was like, this is sick. I actually, at first I was like, this is like Minecraft for like, they're just trying to be PUBG. This is stupid. I played a game, hooked ever since. And ladies and gentlemen, the number one game on my top 5 games of 2017 is Cuphead. It's a low budget. I don't really have like fireworks or anything to do, so I'm just kind of making it myself. Cuphead. Talk about a game that also blew me away without me realizing it. That game does everything right for me. It's so fun, so addicting, so frustrating, but so rewarding. I think I only made one video on my channel. I actually did a whole co-op let's play of the expert mode with Rob on my second channel, if you guys haven't seen that. But as far as the main channel, you guys only saw that one video. So even before it, because by the time I did the let's play with Rob, you have to beat the game to get expert. So I'd obviously already beaten the game, and I did it all on my own time. Majority of the game, well, about half the game I completed with my girlfriend co-op, and then she eventually tapped and she's like, you know what, let's just watch you. I'd rather watch you. And I finished it out and I had an absolute blast. Like I said, a very rare time when I'm gaming where I'm frustrated, but I'm almost there. I'm learning. That's what it was. Boss fights, which I really like those kind of things, like with Destiny, with raiding. I really like finding the puzzle, slowly figuring out yada yada yada, which I know most people are like, well, then why don't you play Dark Souls and stuff? I don't really know. I tried Bloodborne and that just didn't go very well. Anyway, point is, Cuphead, it's these bite-sized encounters, you know? Here's a boss. Okay, here's a boss. Okay, here's a boss. Okay. Every time you got to learn the mechanics, and then you just, every run, you can see yourself slowly get better, or you know what to do. It's just little mistakes, and it's getting that perfect run. And then when you do, it's so freaking sad. It was addicting, honestly. I complete a boss, I'm like, okay, give me the next one. I want to beat it. Give it to me. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So that's why Cuphead is my number 1. Visually, absolutely stunning. Love the art style. They nailed that 30s cartoon. Soundtrack-wise, all that kind of stuff, fan-freaking-tastic. The gameplay, like I said, super addictive. Now, for some people, it was actually too hard, and they didn't like that. I was like, I welcome a challenge. Like when Rob and I first did one of the expert levels, I was like, there's no way. There's no way we can do every expert level. Like, this is impossible. Lo and behold, give us enough time, a little bit of practice, so much fun, we completed it. And that's what I like, literally, as soon as I finished, I'm gonna win Cuphead 2. Please tell me there's Cuphead 2. How long is this gonna take? I'll wait, that's fine. Just give me a second one, because it was that good to me. I, again, played, which that one obviously doesn't take as much time to consume and complete on my own time. I think my first playthrough only took me like 7 hours with a lot of the co-op of my girlfriend. And then the expert let's play co-op took about 6.5 hours. So even though a little shaved off a little bit of time with the harder difficulty. But again, like it's kind of hard to put into words why I love that game so much and how much fun it was, what it was about it. It just seems like so many different things came together in a perfect, just a perfect like harmony. And I honestly, I ate it up. Loved every freaking bit of it. So disagree with me if you will. Fair enough. It's perfectly fine. I don't blame you. I know some people don't like the art style Cuphead, or it's too hard, or this or that. But that game blew me away, and that would be my top 5 2017 games, or games of 2017. Again, it's certainly a very different list than you would see for most people, but just completely subjective and from what I was able to play, because again, I don't get to play too much. So that's why I like Horizon, a game that I actually go out of my way to finish outside of my job. Usually means, yeah, there's something there. But that concludes my top 5 favorite games of 2017. 2018, who knows what will be in store for us. I'm excited either way. Most recently, we have the Dragon Ball FighterZ coming, and then we have Sea of Thieves, which I'm super pumped about. Red Dead, which hopefully comes out sooner rather than later, and then more games, so on and so forth. But, you know, I've never done a video like this, but I thought it'd be interesting. If any of you guys care about my opinion. I would be really interested, though. Please comment down below and put your top 5 favorite games of 2017. And then you don't have to, but feel free to put a little description or explanation of why you put them where you put them. Be interesting to see, because again, for the most part, it's like just games you've played. You can only really pull from the games you played. It only makes sense, right? Again, I can't speak to more of what I saw from Zelda if I didn't play more Zelda. You know what I'm saying? Or Mario. I've heard nothing but good stuff, but I haven't played it, so wouldn't be fair to put it on my top 5 list. With that said, I want to thank you all very much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic day. I'll talk to you in the next one. Farewell.